Stop chasing pennies when the real money is in the bigger picture. Two trades are setting up right now as I speak. One is in play and the other one is about to open. If this plays out the way I'm expecting, this could be one of those weeks you remember. But here's the wild part. While most traders are confused, Wall Street is positioning. Institutions are stepping in and capital is quietly rotating. Something is developing, and it's happening at one of the most important Bitcoin levels of this entire cycle. Let me show you what I mean. Let's go! In this video, I will show you why this Bitcoin level is not random, why the market structure is compressing, and why this moment feels a little uncomfortable but historically powerful, and how the current trades align with what's happening on the larger time frames. No guessing, no emotions, just structure and following a plan. Because when the market moves from levels like this, it doesn't move slowly. Now let me get into more detail here. We're going to begin with the macro. But before we do, I just want to point this out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is click on the subscribe button and you are subscribed. Also, let's go for 30 likes. Press the like button 30 times. It really helps out. And let me know if you're bullish or bearish. Let me know in the comments because I love to read the comments. Anyway, let's get into the macro first before we get into the charts. So here's the first part. Morgan Stanley is officially making cryptocurrency a core wealth product, not a side experiment. Spot Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana trade is coming to E-Trade with full advisor integration and ETF expansion. Wall Street isn't just buying cryptocurrency anymore. It's preparing to sell it to mainstream at scale. All right, and then we have this guy, Kevin O'Leary. Oh, you can't see how bald he is, but he's not as bald as the other guy, Brian Armstrong, or whatever his name is. So Kevin O'Leary says trillions of dollars are lined up waiting for regulation to be accepted before the real capital floods in. All right, so we've been waiting for that Clarity Act. They've just taken forever with it, but one of these days it'll come out and Bitcoin's going to go to trillions of dollars. Where's Michael Saylor? He needs to tell us that as well. Anyway, now on top of that, Fed Insider just opened 110 million Ethereum long right before a major speech. The same insider who previously got the massive Fed trade short. This is not random. This is positioning. While retail hesitates, institutions are buying and something big is developing. Now here's the thing though. Why are they showing this guy here? Is he the Fed Insider? We don't know. Use your head on this, people. Don't be misled by pictures like this. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, let's get into the chart, shall we? So, on the monthly time frame, Bitcoin just tapped into a weekly key historical level over here. Check this out, right? We're in this area right over here. And this is important because this level acted as a resistance back in 2021. You can see by this red rectangle. And from there, we created the 2025 all-time high, 126. Now, price has broken the major trend line, as we know, and pulled back from 90K to 60K. RSI also moved from above 60 to the 50 area region, which historically signals weakening momentum. Yes, technically this looks bearish, but here's the reality. The answer to whether this is a bear market doesn't even matter long term, because if you look at fundamentals, institutions, whales, sovereign players, accumulation hasn't stopped. If price goes lower, it simply becomes a stronger long-term value zone because of this institutional support. And that's the best way I like to look at that. Now, let's move along here because we want to check out the weekly time frame, right? The $60,000 to $70,000 zone is major here. This was resistance, then support. Okay, now we're sitting right on it again, and this is important. The 2024-25 consolidation happened in this area. That means the bulls and the bears heavily transacted in this area. It's not a random level, it's a high volume agreement zone, and one that you really need to pay close attention to because consolidation usually occurs before expansion. If it breaks cleanly, then we reassess and we readjust. But for now, structure continues to be maintained. Now, before I continue to the daily time frame, just know that all my trades are tracked on the Profits Precision platform. Every entry, every exit, every adjustment, and all the updates occur live in my free Telegram channel. People, if you're not in there, just scan this QR code and you're in there. YouTube is for where I give some general details, but Telegram is where you actually see the trade information specifically. All links are in the description, or you can just click on that QR code. All right, let's move on to Bitcoin Daily. So here's the Bitcoin daily time frame. Right? Bullish momentum is trying to reestablish itself. The key confirmation level here is the 80K area. In fact, I wrote an article about that yesterday with a higher probability that we retest that area. Above that, momentum shifts strongly bullish if we can get there. There's also a high supply zone at the 90K area. Okay, so if price could work its way back up here, that would be very key. But right now, the weekly bullish order block is intact, and that's why we have the higher probability until that order block is cleared. Minor resistance sits around the 71K area, and price is struggling there, right? If we break above that cleanly, the probability of the bullish side continues to increase significantly. So keep that in mind. Now, let's get into the Solana trade because this is, oh, hold on, that's Ethereum. Where's my Solana chart? Hold on, let me get to the Solana trader. There it is, right? So I entered this trade, right, with a 0.5% risk around 87.90. And I hold another 0.5% position to enter at 88.19 on the retrace, bringing the total exposure to 1%. If price reaches the take profit objective at 79.08 straight to there, then I'm in profit. If it reverses and hits a stop loss, it's only 0.5%, okay, controlled loss. So that's all pretty much set up and it's very easy to understand. And all those details are in the Telegram channel. This is structured risk management, not reactionary, decision making. It's all planned. Now, let's go back to the Ethereum time frame on the 2-hour because we saw expansion upward, all right? And then we saw the bears pull this thing back into this consolidation area. Now, this key level must hold. If it holds, we look for continuation. If it fails, then price could move lower toward the 1800 level. But right now, structure is still valid. We just need confirmation. Now, from here, let's take a look at the AVNT because this also is an active trade, right? AVNT is maintaining beautifully at the 1980 support. We're seeing a bullish reaction, right? The candle forming there. And if price breaks above 21 cents, probability of a continuation increases significantly. And then we look for our 21, or our first price objective, okay? Not 21. The first price objective at 22.99. Right? And then after that, if price can continue, as this illustration suggests, then we're looking for our second price objective. Structure looks clean so far. And again, you can follow all this in the Telegram. Now, a quick update on my trade challenge. As you know, I'm still running my public trade challenge, trying to grow $10,000 to $100,000. It's slow, but it's not gambling, right? No emotional entries, only structured setups and defined risk. And right now we have active positions developing. Okay, one is reacting, the other one is prepping. All trades are taken on the WeX platform. Why? Because we have tight spreads, we have low fees, and we have other great perks on there, right? And every single trade, like I said, is on the Profits Precision platform. So you have to make sure you're using that. And of course, everything is also tracked on Telegram. That's where all the details are. No delays, no hindsight analysis. So if you want all the real-time updates, make sure you're in there. Just scan the QR code or click the link on the description. Now, quick recap. Let's go over that before we wrap this up, right? Hold on. Let me get to my recap over here. So, Bitcoin is sitting at a historical flip zone on the monthly. Hold on, let me make that a little easier to see. How come we have this over here like that? There we go, look at that, right? The weekly consolidation, check this out, proves that this is a high volume decision area, right? The daily momentum is developing, but confirmation above 71K and 80K is key. Now, we have the Solana trade. Let me get back to that over here, right? That is reacting. And then we have Ethereum at a major decision level. Okay, Ethereum over here. And then where's my Ethereum trade? Man, there we go. And then we have the AVNT. That's also maintaining a strong support. And on the macro side, we know Wall Street is still integrating the cryptocurrencies in this space. We have trillions waiting for the regulation to get through, and institutions are positioning before the announcements. This is not random action. This is all preparation. Now, people, listen carefully. When capital moves, it moves fast, okay? And when it does, you don't get a second entry. You miss out. So if you're not inside the Telegram, I don't know what you're waiting for, because then what's going to happen is you're going to see the move after the fact and you're going to feel bad. This Telegram is where I share the live entries, the real-time updates, and every challenge trade. if you're serious about the markets, join the free Telegram. The link is in the description, okay? For you people that like to use a description, it's right here. It's very easy, okay? It's this one up here, right? That's the link. And if you're too lazy to do that, simply scan the QR code and you're in. All right, all the other links are in the description as well. Make sure you're there so you don't miss out. People, stay calm, stay patient, and be there. And I will see you in the next one.